I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now. But, if it is bigger, then it is not like any other city, is it? You should be proud to call such place home. You are happy to be home? They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now. That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush. We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find a place to live. You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy a nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in, right? At least I will not receive unwanted advances, I guess. Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Hey. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. No offense, but neither do you. Thank you for the offer, but there are some things I have to take care of. Not really. I like it better out there. All right. It's just, in there I have to be someone else. Out here, I'm just Julius Calidus. I like being Julius Calidus. Never mind. Good weather, nice food, what's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too. I wouldn't count on anything. Those Vitellius bastards are slippery. Expect the unexpected.
What is it, Legate? It is inaction that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind. That is an excellent idea. No wonder you are the legatus. There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is. We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her. I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive. Playing with your prey is good showmanship. But the longer your foe survives, the more chances he has to turn the tables.
Welcome home, Domina. More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library. Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest. Do see your mother. I'm sure she's anxious to know we've arrived. That is a wise decision indeed. I shall temper my concern. It appears we have everything we need against Vitellius Scaevola, but keep in mind, appearances can be deceiving. I know you will.
Legate? I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. like I've left something of mine behind out there. Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia, I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate. You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious. A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy. So, poetry? In that case, I shall join you when I'm done, and experience this empty nothingness of yours. Should help me address the hangover. Couldn't be better. We have conquered Asia, and you have all the evidence you need to put that traitorous Vitellius Skyroller behind bars.
Away, Lucullus, and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of her doing more than mine.
She is your legatus? That is highly unusual, to say the least.
Indeed it is, but we shall discuss the implications in due time. For now, keep it to yourself as a favor to me, and let us proceed as usual.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you. Nonsense! It is high praise from the consul. Now, let us conclude our business. The consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious imperator can cross it bearing arms.
Our laws are what separates us from animals. You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again. Ah, you overstate my influence. It is easy to make a sharp sword out of good steel. The river Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
I hope you're hungry, Domina. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus. I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimates faction. The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know. To what end? A blade would not help against poison. May Fortuna smile on you, Domina. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time, just like a proper legatus. Welcome, my girl. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need. Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here. Yes, there is one thing. A proper introduction of you. I'm sorry to spring this on you, my girl, but this is the perfect time. My friends, may I please have your attention? There is someone I would like to introduce to you. A very important woman, without whose deeds we would not be assembled here tonight. Most of you have heard my reports to the Senate about our war and the pivotal role of my new legatus. You know of the meteoric rise of this young Roman from humble legionarius to loved and respected commander of the Victrix Legion. Well, here she is. The woman who liberated Asia and sent Mithridates packing.
Is this a joke?
I'm glad to keep the secret no longer, Lucullus. It has been an unwelcome burden. A woman led the Legion. This young girl in her pretty dress.
Presumably she was not clad thus at the time, Cicero.
Without her, Legio Victrix would have been killed to a man, and I would have died with them.
That is absurd.
You expect us to believe all this? You are known as a man of honor, Lucullus, who reveres tradition and the natural order of things.
This is why I trust that you will take me on my word. She is no ordinary woman.
That is one way of looking upon it.
You have given us much to consider, Consul. Perhaps we may ask her a few questions to get a sense of things. What do the men of Legio Victrix think of this?
You have deceived many about your sex. You expect such deception to be forgiven? Virtue is not merely about whom or what we serve, but also about how we serve. You expect us to believe you can match a man in combat?
She's clearly a remarkable woman, but you have no reason to feel threatened, senators. She's only one woman, after all.
The word of a virtuous man such as Lucullus is enough for me.
I will let you get back to your meal and your discussion, senators. The night is young, and more food is forthcoming. Cato and Cicero, certainly. Cotta was against you from the start, but Aurelia is clearly on your side, and she will mitigate what damage he can do. Do join me at Cato's and Cicero's table when you've recovered your energy. The second impression can be just as important as the first.
I haven't received an invitation yet.
Did you know that here Tullius Varus... This might be the last chance to go. They're going to ban that whole Canadium again soon.
I saw him at the forum
That
the other
fool,
day,
Silvius.
dragging a gag
He's been
with
pushing his luck
horses
too long.
behind him.
You must have...
Cotta is just home from a successful military campaign. His election is all but certain.
Doubtless Cotta will be Pontifex Maximus. Varus doesn't stand a chance.
Must be He certainly gave them something to think about, didn't he? Well, I can't blame them for being rattled. It took me quite some time to get used to the idea of a woman in charge of a legion.
He would allow such a thing, let alone endorse it.
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. In that case, I'm still grateful that you are a true Roman. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. I understand you have all the evidence you need to expose Vitellius Scaevola. It's a strong position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss.
I was surprised Crassus offered to pay for the whole campaign himself.
He's desperate for a military victory to get himself elected consul.
But fending off a mob of gladiators? That's not very glamorous.
An easy victory to advertise to gullible plebeians.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here.
Nonsense. It's a party after all. What would be the purpose of these gatherings if we refrained from conversation? I am Aurelia Cotta. Marcus and Lucius are my brothers. It's wonderful to meet you, Legate. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
But you can take full credit for letting my son die? Or was he simply at the wrong place at the wrong time? I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close despite how briefly you knew each other. Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Crucae Mors. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Soldiers follow orders. Commanders act. Perhaps in the future you can understand the difference and save more lives.
Salve! I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. To varying degrees, I am sure. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Then perhaps we have that in common. I myself abhor violence, although I recognize its necessity in some situations. That depends what you mean by friend. Your patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? True, my friend. You know my name.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if if it's obtained by illegitimate means. What do you think about it, Legate? Spoils of war, unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cotta and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. I generally avoid prosecuting. One does not make friends that way.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served.
Most certainly. It would make you as guilty as they are.
Rubbish. As long as your defense itself is conducted by legal means, we must trust the system to produce the right outcome.
Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live? Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the woman, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? Indeed, in betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is.